Hello and welcome back. It's time to understand one more crucial topic, which is method overloading. Before we proceed ahead, I would like to request you to please do like this video, do comment at the end if you like this video, and also share with your friends. Fine. So before you get into this video or start learning method overloading, the prerequisite is you should be comfortable with the concept of class, object creation, instance variable, local variable. How do we write methods in Java? What is the context of methods? What happens behind the scene? We do have understood this fundamentals of the OOPS, classes, objects, and methods. By keeping in mind that those who are watching this, they know very well about these fundamentals, I would like to proceed further here. Fine. The concept of method overloading remains same in C++ also, in Java also. There is no change in the concept here. Suppose I have written one class here to add certain numbers. Fine. So let me just go here, and I would like to write few methods which will add 2 numbers, 3 numbers, 4 numbers, or maybe different types of numbers in Java. So how to write methods, you know very well. So let me just write here. I will say here add. I would like to say here integer type of n1 comma integer type of n2. That means I'm going to collect 2 numbers here, and I will say here return whatever I'll get by adding this number n1 plus n2. Whatever I get the total resultant, it is of integer type, that I will return to caller of this method. Whoever will invoke this method, for them I have to return. Since it is returning the resultant of n1 plus n2, if you add these two numbers, whatever is the result, that is what I'm going to return. So the return type is integer. You cannot write here void. I would like to give the method name as add1. Now maybe I want to add 3 integer numbers. I want to add 3 integer numbers, for which I will write integer type of maybe n3, and I would like to add here n3. I would like to give the method name as 2. Fine. Again, I would like to write maybe one more which will add 2, maybe 1 integer number and 1 double number. I will say here, or maybe float number. I'll say float type of n2. If you add 1 integer and 1 float, that means 1 whole number and 1 real number. 1 plus 1.2 is 2.2. The return type cannot be integer. The return type will be of float type. Making sense? I would like to add one more. Maybe I'll give the method name as 3. And again, I would like to add maybe 2 float type of data. I would like to say maybe add 4. And this also I would like to accept of float type n number 1 and float type number 2. Of course, we don't have n3 here. Let me erase this. I don't have here. Fine. Maybe I want to add 3 float numbers. I'll give here as method name add 5. And maybe I'll just say here float type of n3. And of course, I would like to add here n3. If you have any syntax wise issue, please do watch the previous videos. There is nothing about syntax here right now. Okay. Maybe I want to add 3 double numbers, or maybe 2 double, 1 integer, or 2 floats, whatever it could be. Let me just make sure here it is 1 is of integer type, 1 is of float type, and 1 is of double type. Great. And the return type is always should be the highest among int, float, and double is double. You have understood in the data types. I have added it. Maybe I'll give the method name as add6. Fine. All these methods are adding the numbers. Now I have written the code. It's over. Now one more developer, somewhere in his code, there is a requirement came wherein he has to perform the addition of multiple numbers, 2 integer numbers, 1 integer, 1 float, 2 double numbers, 3 double numbers, 3 real numbers, or normal numbers. So that occasion came. Developer number 1 has already written the code. I just have to use that code, for which I'll create the object of instance of this class. Name of the class is mycalc. I'll give the reference as calc equals to new mycalc. Great. Maybe this developer is creating the instance in some other class, some other file, and he want to use the code which is developed by developer number 1. So now the requirement is I want to add 2 integer numbers, for which I'll say here calc dot add. Now which one should I add? Is it add 1, add 2, add 3? Right now you're able to see. But at the time, the one who is calling this method, he may not have this file where this code is written. It may not be accessible to him. How will he know that which method he has to call? Whether add 1, add 2, add 3 or add 4. It is a problem, right? So for which C++ and Java program says, look developers, in a class, you can write multiple methods with same name. You need not to give different name. Let them have the same name. All of them have the same name. You need not to give different names to them if there is need arises, since all of them are performing addition only. Why to write different names? You can give same name to them, but different parameters. The parameters should be different. Here it is 2 integer values, 3 integer values, 1 integer, 1 float, 2 float values, 3 float type of value, 1 integer, 1 float and 1 double. They have same name, method name is same, but with different parameters. The advantage or benefit here is, at the time of invoking that method, I need not to recall what is the method name. To add 1 double, 1 float and 1 integer value, what is the method name? Is it method 5 or method 6? I need not to remember, because all the methods, the name is same here. Now I want to add 2 integer numbers. I'll say here calc dot add. Maybe I'll add here 2 integer values, 100 I'll say, and I'll say here 200. 2 integer values, great. And I would like to just print here whatever is the result. If you want, you can store in a variable, but directly I would like to print on my console and check if I call this method and add 2, what is the result. Similar to this, maybe the requirement is I want to add 2 real numbers. I will say print the result by calling this method cal.add. Maybe I'll just call the method. I will add 44.4 and maybe I'll say here some number 5.4. 2 real numbers I'm trying to add. It will give me some results. Fine. So of course it is considering me to add the suffix f. You can do one thing here. What I can do here is I will just store that in a different variables. First of all, integer type of a equals to 10, integer type of b equals to 20, and integer type of m equals to, I would like to say here 14.4, some random number guys, not integer. This time I would like to go with maybe float type of 14.4f, and I'll say here float type of n equals to some random number 15.5f, and I'll say here float type of o equals to, I will say 16.5f. That means I do have some number for which I want to perform the addition. Someone has already written the code. I just have to call those methods. Maybe I have some double type of value. Double type of x equals to 44.5 and double type of maybe I'll say here double type of y equals to 54.5. Some random value guys. And let me go and say here integer type of c equals to 4. Any number randomly, I'm just giving the number. It should not be a problem. So I do have integer type of values, I do have float type of values, I do have double type of value. I want to perform the addition. Someone has already written the code. I need not to write the code. The logic has been already coded. I will say here cal dot add. Maybe I'll add 2 float numbers. I'll say here m comma n. Whatever data we have inside the m, whatever data we have inside the n, I want to add that. Maybe I'll say here I want to add 3 float values. What is the method name? Cal.add. Even if you want to add 3 float numbers, the method name is add only, right? I would like to go and say here n, and again I would like to go and say here o. Maybe I want to add 1 integer, 1 float and 1 double value. That means a comma m comma x. I want to add that. Of course I may have to say here cal.add. I want to add that. I would like to just pass these values here. Of course this is not the way. 1 integer value I want to add, 1 maybe the float value, and 1 the double type of value. Correct. So what I'm trying to say here, whether you want to add 2 integer values, what is the method name? Add. I want to add maybe, of course I'll give here a, the value which is there inside the a, the value which is there inside the b. I want to add 2 float values. What is the method name? It is add. I want to add maybe three float values. What is the method name? Add. I want to add one integer, one float, and one double. What is the method name? Add. So the developer who is using that business logic, which is coded by someone else, no, do that developer needed to remember multiple methods name? No. Whether I want to add two integer values, the method name is add. Two float values, the method name is add. Three integer values, the method name is add. I want to add one double, one float, one integer value, the method name is add. Right? So I need not to recall multiple methods name because all those methods are performing addition only. So whether I want to add two numbers, three numbers, real numbers, normal number, what is the method name? It is add. This is possible because of the concept of method overloading. Method overloading refers to writing multiple methods in a class with same name. All of them will have same name, but different parameters. Different parameters. Can we have multiple methods with same name, same number of parameters? No. This can also have, or maybe take two integer values. This can also take two integer values. This is not allowed. It will take to compile time. It will lead to compile time error. So writing multiple methods with same name, different parameters is called as method overloading. The advantage, the benefit is at the time of invoking those, if someone want to perform the addition, whether he want to maybe add two integer numbers, two float numbers, three double numbers, whatever. What is the method name? Add only. Two integer numbers, add. Two float numbers, add. Three float numbers, add. One integer, one float, one double, add method. Three integer numbers, add method. So I need not to recall multiple methods. I just have to remember add method, which can add multiple or any type of data. Now, you can say here, maybe I'll write this. I will write this here one more time. And I will say here void. And maybe I would not like to store. I will say integer type of res equals to this. And maybe I'll say system.out.println res. See here, still I'm getting the error. Method overloading has nothing to do with the return type. There is nothing to do with return type. It is about name of the method and parameters. Right now, do we have two methods with same name and same parameters? The answer is yes. We have two methods. It is not allowed. So writing multiple methods, same name, but different parameters is only called as method overloading. At the time of calling this business logic, developer need not to recall multiple methods. They can just invoke by calling the same method name. But in reality, is there one method which is overloaded with multiple tasks? That means, do we have any single method which is adding two integer numbers, two float numbers, two double numbers, three real numbers? Is it single method doing multiple tasks? No. In the reality, one method is doing only one task. That means this method is adding only two integer values. This method is adding three integer values. This method is adding two float values. This method is adding two real number float values. This number is adding one integer, one float, and one double. So there is not even single method which is overloaded with multiple tasks. It is only single method is performing only single task. Hence, this is also called as false polymorphism. That means polymorphism means one is too many. So do we have one method performing multiple tasks? No, it is false. In reality, one method is calling or one method is performing only one task. This is adding only two numbers, two integer, one integer and float. This is adding two float numbers. This is adding three float type of data. So one method is performing only one task. You can call this as the false polymorphism. The real polymorphism or the true polymorphism in method overriding concept. In inheritance, you'll understand. But for now, this is false polymorphism, or you can also call it as compile time polymorphism. Compiler is resolving this at the compile time itself. That for which call, which method should be invoked. What do you mean by that? Maybe I would like to print the result here. That's fine. I'll say here, I want to add three integer numbers. I'll say dot add. The moment I say add, all the add methods of that class is active. I'm the add method. Tell me what I have to do. Then I'm telling, I want such a add method which can accept three integer values. I'll say a comma b comma c. Then the other add methods, they'll go back. No, it's not a call for us. Only this add method will be active. I am that add method which is accepting three integer values. Other methods will not be executed. So compiler is resolving this during the compile time, that for which method should be invoked based on the name of a method, number of parameters inside the particular method, and the order of the parameters, number of parameters, data type of the parameters, and the order of the parameter. Example, guys, we do have three methods here which is accepting two parameters. Here also two parameters, here also two parameters we have, here also two parameters we have. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is, maybe I would like to call the add method and pass m and n. Inside m, inside n, we do have a float type of value. Now, so if I say add and pass two parameters, do we have multiple methods with two parameters? Yes, we do have. We have this also, and we do have here also, we do have here also. We have three methods which is accepting two parameters. Which one will be active? Compiler will resolve at the compile time itself that this particular method which is accepting two float number should handle this particular method call. This will be resolved during the compile time. Hence, it is also referred as the compile time polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism, false polymorphism, method overloading. All of them are referring to same. In the conclusion, what is method overloading? Method overloading, writing multiple methods in a class. Writing multiple methods in a class with same name and different parameters. Different parameters is only called as method overloading. And return type has nothing to do with method overloading. It's only the name and parameter. That means at the time of calling that method, name and parameter is what matters. So creating multiple methods, same name, different parameters is only called as method overloading. What is overloaded in method overloading? Nothing is overloaded. In reality, one method is performing only single task. Maybe this developer might have an illusion whether I want to add two numbers, it is add method, three numbers, add method, two real numbers, add method, two integer numbers, add method. For everything, for the developer who's invoking this method, for him is like, oh, it's polymorphism. One add method is performing multiple tasks. This add method is adding two integer value also. This add method is adding three integer values. This add method is adding two float values also. That means one add method is overloaded with multiple tasks. But in reality, one add method is performing only one task. It is a false polymorphism also can be referred. I hope you're able to understand this. So this is the concept of method overloading. Very often in your future classes, you might see that we might create multiple methods with the same name, but different parameters. Any ambiguity if you have, please do watch the previous videos which we have on the concept of class, object creation, methods, and what happens behind the scene, instance variable, local variable. These fundamentals if you watch, and then if you try to understand this, then definitely you will be in a position to understand it better. Fine. So thank you so much for joining me in this video. We will again meet in the next video.